Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm practicing shooting my squat technique. Now my situation is that I'm in an area that has lots of high grass. You can get an idea of how high the grass is in this area. So I'm trying to hit targets at 120 yards. And specifically I'm shooting a 12-inch plate at 120 yards. And the problem is that, if I go prone, right, my face is basically in the grass and I can't see the target. If I go standing, I can't stabilize the gun. So the other options are, let's say, the kneeling technique, right? So if I'm in a kneeling position, my problem is that I can only stabilize one elbow on my, one elbow on one knee. Okay, so with one elbow on one knee, it's really hard to stabilize this gun enough to hit 120 yards. So let's put a couple of shots downrange. Now the microphone's on the backside, so you should be able to hear the pings when I do hit the target. Normally I use earmuffs. I'm using earplugs today because it allows me to hear the pings. I can see the target, but I'm not able to see it get hit at this distance. Basically, it's a target that swings back and forth when it gets hit. So I'm not able to see, because basically I'm practicing with a 22, and this isn't going to swing it hard. I mean, even when I shoot it with 5.56, I mean, the target's just so small, so far away that I can't see it. So I have to listen to the ping to know if I got it or not. So let's put a couple of rounds down range. Basically, I'm using about a 6-inch holdover. No. Oh, that was a hit. Nope. I'll do one more. Nope. So I got 1 out of 4. The problem I'm having is, like, when I see my red dot, because I'm just using a plain red dot, I mean, I can see it moving all over the target because I'm not able to stabilize it. So another option might be the sitting position, which I have experimented with plenty. The problem is when I get into this position, I can't see my target because there's grass in front of me. I'm just a little bit too low. Let me see, I think I can, let me see if I can kind of see the target. Let me see if I can shoot through the grass and hit it. Safety off. Nope. Oh, one hit. Let's try another one. I think that was a hit too. Now I'm shooting through the grass. Oh, that was a hit too. All right. So I'm doing pretty good here. I'm kind of shooting through the grass, but if the grass was a little bit higher, I want to have another option. I want to have an option of, of being able to see above the grass, but to be somewhat stabilized. So what I'm going to try now, what I've been playing with, is the squat position. Now the key to making this work is your feet have to be flat on the ground and fairly wide so that you're stable. And what I'm doing is I'm resting both elbows on my knees. It's a tiring position. So you really got, like, the hardest part about this is controlling your breath, your breathing, to try and stabilize the gun. So I'm definitely higher here. Let me see if I can get a few shots. This gets tiring really quickly. No. Hit. Also helps if you really sit on, you know, like really sit down low so you don't move. Hit. I also got some wind today, so that's moving this 22 around. Nope. Hit. I think that was a hit. We'll quite hear that. No. I don't know if that was a hit or not. Couldn't hear it. Hit. Definitely heard that one. Yeah, that was a hit. All right. Then I see. Oh. So this is an extremely tiring position. And like I said, I'm shooting at 120 yards, 12-inch plate. I'm probably hitting about a third of them. I've, you know, on some days I've been able to hit maybe half of them. Yeah. So I'm getting somewhere between 25% and 50% hits at 120 yards on a 12-inch plate, right? It's about that wide. So I would call that effective fire. Okay. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna be sure I'm gonna hit it every time. But from this position, I feel that I can definitely like provide effective cover fire, you know, so that you know I can put some rounds down range while my teammates maybe advance, you know, around the flanks. So I think it's something that you want to have as an option. So my thoughts on this, and like I said, it's not the most stable position. It's not, you know, I think I was doing better from I was definitely doing better from the sitting position where my feet were crossed. You know, from this position here. The problem with here is now I'm a little bit lower, and of course it's a little bit harder to move from here if I need to move from here. So, get a couple of shots from here. This is our sitting position. Both elbows rested on the knees. Here you got to play a little bit with your legs to, you know, you want to point your knee in the direction that you're shooting, and then you may need to raise your legs up a little bit to get, because right now I'm basically shooting through grass, and I'm trying to get my legs up as high as I can to get, you know, as much clearance over the grass as possible. Like I said, these are tiring positions, so it's all about trying to control your breathing. Hit. 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 Oh, empty. That sucks. All right. Try to fire the gun. Good. All right. So, something for you guys to play around with. Obviously the prone is a much better position to be in, but again, if you're if you're in grass like this, all you're gonna see is grass in front of your face. You know, kneeling definitely get you higher, but you don't have any place to rest that other elbow, so the gun tends to move around. I mean, I shot the worst from that position. I mean, at 30 yards, yeah, I'll hit the target every time, but at 120 yards, I really can't get hits. The ceiling position, I think the last time I did this, I think I was doing something like 75%. But the squat position gave me a mix of, you know, basically I'm hitting something between 25 and 50%, and it gets me higher. It gets me higher than the sitting position, more stable than the kneeling. Higher than the sitting position, more stable than the kneeling position. So I think it's definitely something that you want to, have in your, have in your toolbox, as an option to use. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it. If not, member my channel, subscribe. See you guys next time.